I have to say, I feel like a rock star. This is amazing.
Wow, so many wonderful humans out there.
Not so skeptical now, are we, about psychology?
Love life and enjoy every moment. I'd like to start by saying I hope you're all having a wonderfully phenomenal start to your day. And what I'd like to do is take you on a little journey through a section of my life where I nearly lost that very thing. But before we go into the journey, it makes sense for me to properly introduce myself. So my name is Anthony Bennett. I come from quite a big family. I've got 2 brothers, 4 sisters, and I've actually got a very famous uncle. I'm sure that maybe 99% of you guys here today know who my uncle is. So here's some clues. He was born in Virginia Beach in America. He's a singer-songwriter, producer. He's worked with some humongous names, Jay-Z, Justin Timberlake, Gwen Stefani, and in the year 2014, he had a hit single which literally made the whole world happy. My uncle, Pharrell Williams. I'm just joking, he's not really my uncle, but how cool would that be? Enough of Pharrell, onto the journey. So let me take you back to 2006. I went on a school trip to Disneyland Paris, and it was the best school trip of my entire life. It was me, my friends, abroad, no parents. We was having a wonderful time. On the 3rd day of the school trip, we were in the food court deciding, should we get something to eat? Should we go on some more rides? And all of a sudden, I started to feel a bit weird in the sense that I couldn't quite understand what people were saying. I could hear the words, but I couldn't digest it and make sense of it. So I thought, am I dehydrated? I kept trying to drink some more water. I thought, am I hungover? Not to say that we snuck alcohol on a trip, because obviously that's not allowed. But I didn't know what it was, so I kept trying to push it to the back of my mind. We were then on the coach, heading back in England to school, and all of a sudden, the coach started to swerve across all lanes of the motorway. Kids were flying left to right, and then all of a sudden, the coach driver slammed on the brakes, and everyone went flying forward. The coach driver then ran off the coach, so we ran to the window to see where he went, and sure enough, he was there, and he just started to throw up everywhere, big, lumpy, mucusy. I know it's early in the morning, so I'll spare the details, but he was throwing up. He was a bit poorly. But we had another driver. He came out to get us and take us back to school. We thought nothing of it. So I woke up the next morning, and I felt like death. I had hot head, sweaty palms, no energy. But if you've got parents like my parents and it's a school day, you are going to school. So I dragged myself all the way to school, walked down the cold corridor, stepped into class, sat down. 3 of my friends showed up. So we was talking about how great the school trip was. And then we started talking about how ill we all felt. Before we knew it, 20 minutes had passed and no one else showed up. The teachers weren't there, the students weren't there, it was just 4 of us in a lesson. So we thought, that's a bit weird. But then we thought, we get to go home, it's cool. So we went home. The next morning I woke up, went downstairs, I saw my mum. My mum asked me how I'm feeling. So I said to my mum, yeah, there's frogs in the garden, jumping on jelly. If you look left, there's Batman. So my mum looked at me like, what the hell did you just say? So I tried to speak, but I couldn't make any sense of what I was saying. So straight away, my mum, my son's on drugs, oh my God, my son's on drugs. I was like, no. And then she was looking for cameras. She thought I was playing a prank on her. We weren't playing a prank. She sat me down and said, what's going on? The only word I can get out was hurts. So I started to hit my chest saying, hurts, hurts. She then noticed that my feet had turned blue and I was finding it hard to breathe. So I was rushed to my local hospital. I was with my dad at the time. He was sitting next to me reading the paper, doing a crossword, whatever dads do with papers. And a doctor came in with the x-ray of my chest. And you know on the x-ray, your lungs come up black, your ribs come up white. On my x-ray, everything was white and cloudy. It's full of infection. So the doctor left and he came back with another doctor. Then another doctor came in. Then another doctor came in. And my dad said within 5 minutes, there were 8 doctors standing in a circle discussing my x-ray. So he thought he'd better put down a crossword and ask that big question. What's going on? So the doctor said to my dad, your son is extremely ill and his only chance of survival, the big S word, is if we could find him a special life support machine called ECMO, which stands for extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. And in 2006, only 4 hospitals in the UK had this machine. Luckily for me, Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital in London had this machine. So I was rushed to Great Ormond Street, and when I arrived, I was in a very bad way. They diagnosed me with a number of infections. They think it came from the air conditioning inside the coach, seeing as we all got ill. Everyone else had a bad case of flu, but I just got it really bad. I was diagnosed with strep pneumonia, influenza B, staphylococcus, amongst some other complications. On top of that, I was given about 10% chance to live. My white blood cells went to 0. I had a seizure whilst I was in a coma, which could have left me brain dead, brain damaged, paralyzed, anything could have happened. If that weren't enough, every step forward I was taking 10 steps back. My parents kept getting told, you might want to think about funeral arrangements, we don't think Ant's going to make it. On top of that, I had to be resuscitated. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not 5 times, not 6 times, not 7 times, 8 times, 9 times I had to be brought back, no, not 9, 10 times I had to be brought back to 12 times I kept dying. So they kept bringing me back to life. So I really, I should not be standing here. I had a guardian angel looking after me. My mum, she was there every step of the 7-week journey in hospital from morning to night, looking after me with the nurses. I had people traveling from far and near coming to visit me. They didn't think I was going to make it. This is my nephew Makai saying his goodbyes. But I started to show bits of improvements here and there, and it got to the point I had a tracheostomy, so I was breathing from my neck, not my mouth or my nose, just my neck. And they'd done this physio exercise where they'd pour salty water saline into my throat, they'd shake my body as I breathe, and it would mix around with my lungs, and then I'd have to breathe outwards, and they'd put a tube down my throat, and they'd suction all this gunk out to clear my lungs out. They found 3 lumps on my lungs, which they said would pass through the tubes, and during one of these sessions, one of the lumps went to go up the tube, but it blocked half of the tube, so I started to find it very hard to breathe. I was panicking, the machine started to beep, more doctors and nurses were coming into the room, my mum was there, and I remember it got to the point where I mimed to my mum because I couldn't speak. I just said, I've had enough, I want to give up, I want to die, I want to be at peace, I've fought too much, too long, I can't do it no more. I said that to my mum. Then I had a thought, and this thought changed everything. I thought to myself, if I was to just die and give up, I would never, ever get a chance to hear another Eminem album. And I'm a big Eminem fan. So I said to myself, no, I need to keep fighting. And then I started to think about the future and everything that I'd miss. It was 2006, I thought flying cars would be out soon. I was thinking about my Lamborghini, my mansion I was gonna get, traveling the world, seeing beautiful people everywhere, trying foods from different places. So I said to myself, no, I need to get myself better. So I started the journey of getting myself better. With this, I had to learn everything from scratch. It was like the reset button was pushed on my life. I had to learn how to squeeze and make a fist, how to touch my finger to my nose. I had to learn how to sit up without just falling over. I was pretty much a skeleton. I had to learn how to stand again, how to walk again. I went on that journey. And 7 weeks into my stay, I got the news where I was able to leave Great Ormond Street. Best news, but it's very scary. People ask me, since I've been through what I went through, how has my life changed? And I can explain it. As soon as I left the hospital and I jumped in the cab, the world looked more colorful to me. It was moving at a fast pace, because I was quite slow in my own self. And I remember seeing something that changed everything for me. I saw this. I saw a woman pushing a buggy. She stopped, picked up her baby, and she started playing with her baby. Usually I'd see a mum playing with her son or her daughter, but this time I saw a little baby that doesn't understand the world, and I saw a full-grown human that kind of gets it, but they were able to speak and communicate to each other using the language of love. And I felt that just looking out the window and seeing that. I felt what they were experiencing. So how my life has changed is I feel the world a lot more. Every moment that I'm in, I'm always feeling it. I step outside my body and I just think, wow, where am I? What am I? This is beautiful. I love being alive. Then got home. My dad carried me upstairs because I was still a bit weak. Opened my bedroom door. My whole family was there and it's surprise, Ant's home, and everyone was cheering, was hugging each other. And I noticed that my room was yellow. My room was blue before. What happened was the doctors and nurses said to my family, you're all going on a journey, it's not just Anthony. If you all separate, you're going to go on a downward spiral. You need to work together as a team and lift each other's spirits up, keep each other in a good place. So they decided to decorate my room whilst I was away, getting it ready for my arrival. My dad would be painting the walls, my sister would help making a new bed for me, my brother went out and got a new little TV for me, and it was just amazing to see my family doing that for me. My dad then left the room, and I didn't notice him leave. So I said to my mum, "Where's Dad gone?" And she said, "I don't know, let's go find him." We went to the next room, and sure enough, my dad was there in the back of the room, just staring out the window. And when he turned around, it hit me so hard, because that was the first time in my entire life that I've ever seen my dad crying. You know, my dad is a big guy, 2 gold teeth, scars, he's hard, he doesn't cry. But his cheeks were soaking wet, he had a quivering chin, he was bawling his eyes out. And my mum asked him, said, "Why are you crying?" And he just said, "I'm just so happy that I've got my son back." When he said that, something happened to me, and I thought to myself, wow, I nearly stopped existing. And then I thought about all the people that was involved in helping me get my life back. And there was a long list of people, over 100 people. Doctors, nurses, surgeons, nutritionists, play specialists, cleaners. And I thought, wow, everyone had a little superpower that they brought to the team. If it wasn't for the cleaners that came twice a day to clean around my bed to make sure there was no bacteria, because I was so ill that bacteria from my own bed could have killed me. If it weren't for the cleaners, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for the surgeons and doctors that went through all of their teaching to become who they were, I wouldn't be here. For the admin support workers, booking the meetings, for the surgeons, the directors, making things flow faster, I wouldn't be here. So I want to ask you guys, what is your superpower? What do you bring to your teams? What do you bring to your family, your friends? What do you give? Then the phone rang. It was Great Ormond Street. They said, "Hey, Ant, how are you?" I said, "I'm wonderful. How are you?" "Superb. Do you mind helping us by sharing your story with Morgan Stanley?" I said, "Sure." I didn't have a clue who Morgan Stanley was. If those of you that don't know, Morgan Stanley is a big investment banking firm, global. I thought Morgan Stanley was Morgan and Stanley. So I was like, sure. I'll talk to Morgan Stanley. Is Dave going to be there? And they said, no, there's going to be 400 people. It's a big charity event. So I was like, damn. But I said the word yes. I went to the event. I saw what 400 people looked like, and I was so scared. They started clapping and introducing me. I got on stage, everyone stopped clapping, and then all eyes were on me. The lights went low, and I was petrified because I had loads of people just staring at me, similar to this. So I had a little voice in my head, and it said, "Ant, just introduce yourself and pause." So I said, "My name's Anthony Bennett. I want to take you on a journey." Paused, and I noticed that no one threw tomatoes at me. I didn't melt into a puddle. I was okay. So I carried on. And then the little voice came again. He said, "Bro, you're standing too still. What do speakers do? They use their hands. Use your hands." Okay, 3, 2, 1. You know, then I was in hospital for 7 weeks. I started using my hands. It was all right. So I was all right. I relaxed a bit. Then the voice came back and said, "Bro, what do speakers do? You're standing too still. You have to use the stage. Go for a walk." Okay, 3, 2, 1. And then, you know, everyone was really sad. I was so ill. Then the voice kicked in again and said, "Bro, do a moonwalk." I went, "No, not today, not today." But the event was a huge success, and I got a little bit of a buzz. So I said to Great Ormond Street, if there's any more opportunities, I'd love to help again. The phone rang again. "Hi, Ant. How are you?" "Wonderful. How are you?" "Fantastic. Do you want to help us win the biggest partnership we've ever had? It's to a company called Whitbread." "I'd love to." "What, are they a bakery? Do they make bread?" Like, Whitbread. They said, "No, it's a big conglomerate FTSE 50 company that own the biggest coffee chain in the UK, Costa Coffee, biggest hotel chain in the UK, Premier Inn, among some restaurant brands." I was like, yeah, sure, let's go for it. So we went to do the pitch. The partnership was won, and Whitbread, 2 of the exec directors approached me and said, "Would you like to work for us and help us raise this money?" So I said, sure. So I became the face of this charity partnership. I traveled the whole of the UK, speaking to teams from all over, encouraging people to get involved in fundraising. And I saw the true power of teamwork all around the country. People getting off the sofas, challenging themselves, cycle one side of the UK to another, putting on charity events like tournaments, and I saw everyone using their strengths. The numbers people were the treasurers, helping us to make sure the money was all collected safely. The creative people were creating the posters. The alphas and the extroverts were leading the teams, and everyone worked together, and we were having a massive whale of a time raising money for Great Ormond Street. As you can see, everyone is smiling, sharing moments that they will last for a very long time with people that they like being around. And everyone's got smiles on their face, apart from the guy in the bottom. He was quite upset, very upset. He decided to wax his legs for charity, and he had the hairiest legs I've seen in my life. So we thanked him a lot for raising a lot of money. But we never lost focus on the reason why we were doing what we were doing. And that money we were raising was going towards a new wing at the hospital to help treat up to 20% more patients. Within 4 years of the 5-year partnership, we raised £7.5 million. And then within the 5th year, we hit £10 million. I then went on to become one of the happiest people in the UK, which was amazing. And I decided I wanted to start my own company, with the logo being a heart-shaped brain, helping people to love their mind, their brain, their superpower, and using it to inspire others. So I started going to schools, colleges, universities, and teaching the younger generation. We're in the world of social media, where we see the best bits of everyone's lives as we scroll. Everyone wants everything so fast and instant. Showing to the kids that slow down a bit, have a goal, and just step by step go towards it. Plant your seed and keep watering your seed, and slowly in time you'll have a tree that will give you fruits. Don't rush life. I started going to corporate events around Europe, speaking to big teams about my thoughts on the power of teamwork and how everyone does have this superpower. And in 2017, last year, I won favorite speaker at the Risky Business 2-day conference. Little old me who was scared of speaking become favorite speaker. It was an amazing feeling. And today, I'm in the furthest place in the world from my home, Sydney, Australia, speak to 1,500 amazing people. This is a special moment for me, and I just want to really end it there and say thank you for listening. And life is a temporary experience that will come to an end. If you look left and right and you see people beside you, if you can wiggle your toes in your shoes, and if you can feel the cool air conditioning on your skin, you are still part of this magical experience. How many of you just wiggled your toes in your shoes? So live life, love life, and enjoy every moment, and keep pushing towards your superpower and inspiring people around you. Thank you very much for listening. Guys, I've actually made quite a big mistake. I've flown all the way to Australia, and I forgot to tell my mum that I made it here safe. So she's probably very worried. So I was wondering if I can get your help with something really quick. I want to record a little video for my mum, and when I turn it around, would you guys be up for just giving my mum a little wave? But I was thinking, in the spirit of the World Cup, maybe we could do a different kind of wave. So if you're up for it, maybe we could start a Mexican wave from that side of the room, bring it all the way to this side, and then bring it back to the start again. Would you guys be up for that? Right. I can't believe I forgot. Right, video. Hi, Mama. Just to let you know that I've landed safe in Australia, and the people here are really kind, and I've made loads of friends, and actually some of them are here today and they want to give you a little wave. So guys, do you want to just say hi to my mum? Love you, Mama. Thank you, Australia.